Hello and welcome to the StoryAidEU Module 1, which will provide an introduction to humanism. By the end of this module, you will have gained an understanding of the role of humanism, humanistic theories, and be able to apply principles in planning, designing, implementing, and evaluating humanistic care. We will now give some background to humanism to provide you with the fundamentals of its history, theory, and key concepts. Humanism can be traced back to the Italian Renaissance. In 1945, humanism came to prominence following a lecture by Jean-Paul Sartre on Existentialism is Humanism. In a healthcare setting, Maslow established humanistic psychology with an emphasis on choice, responsibility, and self-actualization. Humanistic philosophy is now one of the core of healthcare global consciousness. There are a number of theories of humanism in healthcare outlined on this slide, which you may wish to go away and research in order to improve your knowledge on the subject. Our project has defined humanism as an authentic relationship embracing presence, mutuality, and commitment by becoming part of another person's story, resulting in human growth. Our conceptualization of humanism stemmed from research conducted during year 1 of our project, along with a Delphi study, which is outlined on this slide. There are 5 core attributes to humanism: authentic relationships, presence, commitment, mutuality, and becoming part of a story. The first attribute, authentic relationships, is derived from the fact that humanism involves more than one individual. Within nursing, it involves both participants in the relationship admitting that they do not really know the other person and therefore hold no preconceived perceptions. The second attribute, presence, is defined as the being with and attending to another. It also highlights the need for involvement and companionship. The third attribute, mutuality, can be described as a connected relationship involving openness, self-disclosure, trust, and friendliness. The fourth attribute, commitment, is the agreement or pledge to do something in the future. Commitment is about giving priority to the person requiring care rather than oneself. This engagement supports the person's ability to interpret and self-manage the health and illness journey. The fifth and final attribute is becoming part of another person's story. This is related to storytelling, which we will go into greater detail in the other modules. So, let's talk about why we believe humanism is important. The main point here is that our survey found that there was an overwhelming consensus that humanism should be the basis of all healthcare and at the core of healthcare professionals' work. We'll now give you some practical applications of humanism. Here, we provide some model cases for you to read through. You will see that we've provided both a model and a contrary case to highlight the stark difference between care provided in a humanistic manner and care provided without it. We would encourage you to pause the video and reflect on the examples provided. We will now go through some of the core literature on humanism. There are 4 primary themes attributed to humanism: person-centered care, compassion, strategies and educational techniques, and organizational culture. Salazar highlights the need to put the patient at the center of the care and to holistically look after the patient. while Adamson and Dewar suggest that relationship-centered care can be promoted using stories and reflection on care, which can promote a humanistic approach to patient interaction. Compassionate care is also extremely important. The core competencies for compassion training include building a relationship to develop a genuine rapport with the patient, understanding the patient as a human being, and developing a connection with the patient. Strategies and education techniques include self-reflection, connecting with patients, teaching and role modeling, and work-life balance. Organizational culture is the overarching motivational factor for humanistic care delivery. Sub-themes include supportive leadership, responsibility to role model humanism, organized activities designed to promote humanism, and practice structures that facilitate humanism. There are multiple personal and professional skills required for humanism, but key competencies include communication, reflective practice, and role modeling. You can evaluate humanism in yourself and the organization using these 3 tools. Now to wrap up, it is important to remember that humanism is an essential element of healthcare. A key aspect of humanism is the patient's voice and story, and humanism and interprofessional education need to play a greater role in the education of health professionals. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the module.